Wait, hold on. Wait.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
He wasn't ready for his
Hold on.
cue.
Wait, because then
He wasn't ready for his cue.
Wait.
Down.
No.
Da-da, da-da, do-do-do-do-do. Wait.
Now hold on, I got it. Hold on.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Three guys and a bear won't be playing Warcraft 3. And now here's someone who will still, though, because he's a slave to Blizzard and loves Warcraft. Coach Crandor.
Hey everybody, Blizzard Slave here. How's it going?
That should be your name. Yeah. You should change it from Crendor.
Tis
should
I,
have
Blizzard
something
Slave.
You have something like
Here
wow
in the
in your
pens
name.
of hell.
Like wow, Crandor.
Yeah, maybe I should try that.
The first time I met you was for that Hearthstone video that we did a long time ago, and when I was told that your name was Wow Crendor, I was like, okay, so he really is either in love with himself and tells him wow all the time, or he means World of
Well, it
Warcraft.
is true. I do say wow all the time. I love
I mean,
myself.
He does do that, yeah.
I don't hate that at all, dude. You gotta love yourself.
Gotta love yourself,
Hey,
man.
there you go.
So does
Yeah,
Odell Beckham
Good
Jr.,
messages
you know?
here on the football
right.
podcast.
Chad
That's what we're here
Johnson,
for.
Randy Moss, they all love themselves.
Yeah, I love me some me.
Antonio Brown.
I hate me.
Oh,
Oh man.
No, it was he hate me. It was he hate me.
I actually made the name Wow Crendor because I tried to take the name Crendor and it was taken already.
That's
And,
hilarious.
Then after years of doing YouTube, I had a guy. I was like, "Hey, can I get Crendor on YouTube? It hasn't been active in like 4 years." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give it to you." So now if you go to youtube.com/Crendor, it actually redirects you to my actual YouTube.
Oh, hell yeah.
Power to the players.
Yeah.
So, how's it going? We talk about football
Yeah, sometimes.
sometimes. So today we have hit the official almost end of the season. We've got 2 weeks left.
It's official.
official.
It's the almost official.
It's
end of
officially the end of week 15, everybody. Congratulations.
You've made it here, and some of us are excited for the playoffs, having clinched playoff berth. Others are excited to get to the draft.
Yep. Well, I'm not really, actually. Like, because I know it's gonna disappoint me. So I don't even know I don't even have a Super Bowl. I don't have anything this year. It's very sad.
Well, I mean, you can still hope they take offense. You know?
They're not going to. That's a really funny joke that you just made. I like that. That was clever.
Let's open it up with the New York Jets against the Baltimore Ravens, and just like we all predicted, I actually thought the score was going to be 42-7, and it was 42-21. So they got some garbage time points.
Well, I
in
mean,
there.
it was 42-7, and then
Yeah.
exactly. The time that doesn't really matter happened.
Yeah. It was a classic.
Did you watch any of this game, Rob, or were you
Barely
busy?
any. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, it was funny because it was mostly coincidental, but I did not have to expose myself to the brutal horror that is Lamar Jackson.
Jamar Laxon.
Jamar Laxon. Brutally shit stomping my team into the ground.
That's the name of your fantasy team next year.
Jamar Laxon.
Jamar
yeah,
Laxon.
He's right. When
Sounds
he's
like
right,
a laxative.
Yeah, he just shits on everyone that he plays against.
Well,
Oh, wait,
pretty
are
good.
you talking about Adam Gase? He shits on our team
hey,
every
you guys
week.
want
Yeah.
a fun stat? One
Yeah.
of every 3 of Lamar Jackson's passes were a touchdown. That's a pretty good one. He was 15
That's
of
nutty.
15 of 23 for 212 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I mean, that's all right.
Dude, that's not even the best stat line this week, though, is the thing. That's what's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh well, yeah.
But yeah, the Ravens pretty much shit on the Jets.
Yeah.
It was not even close. It was really bad. It was the whole like stop, he's already dead type
Yeah.
of thing. But
Absolutely terrible. Yeah.
Le'Veon
RG3
Bell.
got in there for an incompletion, so love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
He
go.
actually hit him really fucking hard at one point. I saw like
Oh.
on the side, but yeah,
He had 4 carries in the game too, admittedly.
yeah. It's like, I mean, I can't shit on Adam Gase too hard for getting shit stopped by the Ravens, I guess. But
No.
like,
There's
at
no
this-
one in the world that picked Jets in this matchup.
yeah, but like at the same time, it's like, look, it's just more of the same. Actually, I said this before the podcast started. So, fun fact: there is a like a biblical adversary figure for the New York Jets, like a demon from the depths of hell that stalks our every waking moment, and that name is Rich Kotite. He's the worst head coach that the Jets have ever had, and it was in like the 90s and stuff. And he really was truly terrible. I don't have the stats in front of me, but basically he's one of those guys where every stat you read about him is just like, holy shit, how the fuck did he have a job?
41 and 57 career record.
Yeah, and you should look at his Jets record in particular, actually, because he had a limited success with whoever he was before, but he is by far the most hated coach in our history.
Under Kotite's leadership, the Jets suffered what are still the worst 2 seasons in franchise history. Kotite won only 4 games in 2 seasons, falling to 3-13 in 1995 and 1-15 in 1996 for the worst record in the league both years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he'd
And
be
he
a
did
Hall
that-
of Famer for the previous year Cleveland Browns.
Well, so here's the thing. Similar to Hugh Jackson, he did that all while shitting on the team and shitting on the organization and the fans and all that. So, so really, he's a Hugh Jackson-like figure. So here's the thing. Adam Gase's stats are worse in many categories than Rich Kotite. That's the thing.
Dude,
that's so
Kotite drafted
frustrating.
Brady, though.
Yeah.
Notable
It worked out
selection of-
great for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Notable selection of tight end Kyle Brady over the heavily favored Warren Sapp in 1995.
Yep. He's the
Nice.
that was actually the year where you can watch this on YouTube, where the draft is being held and all the Jets fans in the room, because the draft was held at New York all the time.
I remember this one
years
too.
ago, and they were screaming from the top of their lungs, "We want Sapp! We want Sapp! We want Sapp!"
This is within our lifetimes, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
holy shit.
I watched this one live.
Yeah. And then they took Kyle Brady. And then fun fact, Brady was ass and Warren Sapp's a Hall of Famer. So, it turns out that the crowd was absolutely right. And I actually want to pose a suggestion. I think that the crowd is absolutely right again. And Adam Gase is a terrible fucking head coach. He should not be head coaching any team, and he certainly should not be coaching the New York Jets next year. But he's going to. So, fuck me. Yay! Yay!
All right, Rob. Well, if that's the case, then why would players like Ryan Tannehill and Kenyon Drake regress when the... Oh, they got better. All right.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
All right. Well, that's a fun time being a New York Jets fan.
Yep.
And the Ravens still remain undefeated every time that Lamar Jackson rushes for 70+ yards in a game.
Yeah.
I think at this point it's going to be every time Lamar Jackson is on the field, they win the game, because this guy is just a monster, man.
Except against the Browns.
Well, yeah. I mean, rivalry games, man.
Yeah.
They always get you.
Speaking of rivalry games, we had the Bears Packers.
Yeah.
Woo! We won. It was actually kind of scary at the end. So the Bears had a garbage time comeback and almost tied it, but luckily they didn't. So what happened was, start the game, we came out looking great. We shut down the Bears offense. They had like nothing going. We stopped the run. Trubisky didn't know how to throw the ball, and it was great. And then we scored a touchdown. We scored another touchdown, and then Marquez Valdez-Scantling dropped a 70-yard touchdown right in his hands. Geronimo Allison dropped a third down pass for a big gain. Jimmy Graham is old. It was great. And the biggest issue we have right now is wide receiver, because it's Devontae Adams Lazard sometimes. Kumaro had a big catch. Allison sucks. Valdez-Scantling sucks. We really need to draft one. So that's fun. On top of that, our defense just played really well. Alexander had a pick. Clark had 2 sacks, stopping the run. Rashawn Gary got a sack. That was exciting. We almost had a few more picks, but I mean, it was great. And then the end of the game happened, and Trubisky just started firing accurate passes. The Bears were moving down the field, and then they almost got the end of the game lateral play where you just keep lateraling it back, and they almost got it. But the final guy didn't fling it back to Allen Robinson, and then they didn't get it. But apparently, they made an illegal pass, or the ball would have been down because it hit the ground or something, so the play wouldn't have mattered anyway. But it was too close, is what I'm saying. So the biggest thing that worries me, even though the Packers have clinched playoff berth,
Hell yeah,
is that I don't feel like we're gonna win a playoff game. And it's one of those things where the offense looks really good for the first quarter, maybe 2 quarters, and then everyone just stops doing things. And I don't know what the problem is. And I don't know if it's Aaron Jones can't get going, or people dropping passes, or Rodgers not seeing things, but it's unless we start clicking. But that kind of worries me. But at the same time, at least we're not the Bears, who are now eliminated.
Yeah.
Are they gone now? Or are they out?
They are out officially.
They're gone, yeah. Dude, I can't help but agree with you. I mean, looking at we've known that the NFC playoff picture has been stacked basically since the middle of the season. And y'all are going to be hosting a game, which means you're playing either the 5 seed or the 6 seed, which is maybe going to be the 49ers at this point, which would be fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So good luck with that.
The bright spot is if we win the next 2 games. So we play the shitty Lions, who have their entire starters injured, and then there's the Vikings at Minnesota next week, which is the big one. But if we win both those, we could possibly take the 1 seed, but we'd definitely have the 2 seed. So we'd get a bye week, which is very important. Because I don't want to play a game against the team week 1.
So, either way, though, whoever's coming out of that, the NFC East ain't putting forth a contender. So you're having to probably deal with either the 49ers, who are coming through the wild card on a fucking tear, or the Saints, have fun with that too.
Yeah.
The Seahawks may be your best bet, but even then, I don't think you guys are favored. So
the only thing I can hope for is a crazy ass snow game where Breeze is I can't see out here. He's flinging it up, and it's getting crazy shit. That's what we gotta hope for. But even then, if we win that, we'd have to go to San Francisco again, and I might not even watch the game at that point.
To latch off of a pre-show topic that we were all talking about making money online, I'm going to offer my services to anyone out there who happens to be a football fan. If you want your quarterback to not do terrible, check out my Patreon, because I won't draft him in fantasy. And the reason why this is all relevant is because Aaron Rodgers had a sub 100 passer rating for the 10th time this season, the most in a season since 2015. Also, the only time I've ever drafted Aaron Rodgers in fantasy football.
Man, should have picked up Jameis Winston from the free agent pool.
Yeah, that was your mistake right there. You didn't have Jameis Winston on your fantasy team.
Got me 35
Aaron Rodgers
points.
he used to be a fantasy machine until this season. I hate
So
him.
did Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I didn't draft Adrian Peterson for quarterback.
Well, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have receivers. That's the biggest issue. So we just go to Aaron Jones.
He's old. He's an old man.
And he's old. So yeah, honestly, I'm excited to be back in the playoffs, but at the same time, I have no faith that we're gonna win a lot in the playoffs.
I decided to look because that is startling, actually, that he had 10 games under 100 rating this year. Well, no, I'm responding to you, you dick. Anyway, but I looked, and he actually is having a good year. His overall rating is 100.2 or whatever, something like that. 100.4. But the thing is, his yardage is down like heavily. It's he's got 3,400 yards, but that is backing up 24 touchdowns to only 2 picks.
Yeah.
So he's like he's playing really efficiently, just not as high volume as he usually does.
Yeah, like in the last 2 years,
weird.
he's thrown 4 interceptions combined.
That's crazy.
That's pretty wild, dude.
Yeah, although he could have. There's been a few instances where the receiver or the defenders just drop it, and every time they drop it, I'm like, how do you just drop that interception? Like it's not even like a hard catch. I don't know.
Yeah.
So really, he should probably be at about like 4 or 5
Just learn
on the
to
year.
kick forehead.
Yeah, just learn to kick. Let's learn to catch the ball.
Just throw touchdowns.
Why cornerbacks don't catch every ball that hits their hands. It's just like there's got to be some cornerbacks that would catch literally 100% of them.
You know who would make a great coach for Aaron Rodgers? Ninja.
It's a great
Right.
point. Great point.
He's right.
So it's it's something, but I'm just happy to be back in the playoffs, honestly. A lot of people are like, would you rather make the playoffs and lose, or would you rather just, not make it and just what? And that's like a great I've had that the last 2 years where I'm like, hey, you know what? We don't make the playoffs, we get a draft pick. But now that like you get back to the playoffs, I'm like, you know what? It's a lot better making the playoffs. It's a lot more fun.
Yep.
Oh,
Must be
actually, unrelated point, but I just realized that if Spider-Man were a football player, he'd obviously play wide receiver. So there you go.
Huh.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
Yep, no problem.
It's great to
Where
know.
did that come from?
Oh, it's just something that crossed my head, and I figured,
Okay.
this is wisdom that needs to be imparted.
That's good information. Yeah.
I forgot there's a tweet about Barstool Sports that said Lamar had a stack of jerseys to hand out to the Jets like they were a Make-A-Wish team, and he's just signing the jerseys and handing them off, and someone said the Jets are a Make-A-Wish team.
It's basically true. Actually, well, first of all, we should put that in the foosball so you can put it in the description. But also, I also linked, in case you guys didn't see, what Lamar Jackson can do in Madden, which is very much what I predicted at the beginning of the year. Like, if you watch that video, it's hilarious because he just is the 2019.
Oh my God!
Michael
Yeah.
Vick.
Holy shit.
He's Tecmo Bowl Bo Jackson.
No, they're running backwards with him, dude. No, I used to do this shit on a Sega Genesis when I was 7. What the hell?
See, and it's funny because it's like, can you argue that he's imbalanced in game? Yes, but he's also imbalanced in real life. So, like,
If at
Very
any
true.
point in an NFL game, Lamar Jackson was in the middle of a 50-yard run, got to midfield, turned around, ran backwards, and went back into midfield and scored a touchdown still.
Oh man, that would be the greatest video ever, though. Got it.
Speaking of great videos, the Patriots recorded the Bengals last week, and now they played the Bengals.
How about
Yeah.
what a winky think, Bear? How'd that happen?
Yeah. Y'all want to waste my time with some fucking bullshit? Is that how we're gonna start this conversation?
My favorite part is the Boston Scout guy's like, I can just delete the video right now, bro. I can delete the video right now. I can delete it. Wait, it's
I
gone.
gotta say that's a redeeming quality of all of it. I just got nothing to say about that straight up. Like, it's all stupid. The game, thank Christ, we won against the Bengals. I had a feeling there that for a moment some evil force was finally had come calling for Belichick's power after he made that pact 20 years ago. But
What you mean is good force, not evil.
yeah, I'm
force.
sorry,
He's the
right?
evil
Yeah,
force.
that's I always forget I'm the antagonist in the world story. I'm sorry.
It was 10-7 Bengals at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, dude, it was a little scary,
Yeah.
but I prayed to infant baby teeth suckling Jesus that we would not lose our third in a row this season to the Bengals, and we didn't. Thank goodness. We got 4 goddamn interceptions. Stephon Gilmore, defensive player of the year, by the way. I don't think there's really a lot to be said about that, but Man,
You imagine the amount of millionaires that would have been made in Vegas if the Patriots had lost to the Bengals.
like maybe 3 for the folks that had the balls to actually make the bet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Gilmore had 2 picks and J.C. Jackson had 2 picks.
yeah,
Not even Coach Crendor is going to pick the Bengals over the Patriots on this one.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
I
'cause Coach
contemplated
Crendor
it,
picks
but I
anything.
wasn't that crazy. But yeah,
it's the same story as it's been for the last few weeks with the offense, though. Like, we're still not really getting it together. N'Keal Harry's looking a little better. He's had some flashes of brilliance and is looking a little more consistent and running his routes, and his his on-field communication with Brady looks a little better. But yeah, we're still. It's the Bengals that we scored 30 on. I'm not about to get too excited about that. A lot of it came from the D, so.
The
Yeah.
Patriots scored 30-plus points for the first time in their last 7 games.
Yep.
That's,
Yeah, we're not really doing too hot.
Although Tom still threw 2 touchdowns, which would have been enough to win the game on his own. So you got
Mhm.
that at least going for you.
True. Yeah.
And-
Burkhead was doing fine too. I mean, or not Burkhead. Sorry, Michelle was the one that was taking the main load. Burkhead had the touchdown, but this is the time of year where normally we start to show the potential that the offense has, and then in the playoffs we begin to unleash that potential. That's normally our process. We're like 2 weeks behind on the formula right now, so I don't know if we're gonna try to play catch up and hopefully still have the bye week to work with. If we don't get the bye, I think we're fucked, to be honest. But it's hopefully gonna work itself out. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't really care too much anymore. We've won 6 championships. I'm not fighting for this one too hard, to be real with you.
Isn't that such a great feeling to say that you've won enough championships to not care about this year's playoffs?
It's absolutely fantastic, especially now with all this cheating bullshit coming up again. You know what? Here, let me give you all this soundbite, okay? They cheated. Every single game that the Patriots played, they cheated as much as they could in every way conceivable. They did it. They're guilty. Like red-handed, but you know what? Your shitty team did it too, okay? Everyone's doing it. It's just like Lance Armstrong and all that bullshit. He was just the best at it. So are we, all right?
Yeah.
There. That's what's really happening.
They just got caught. That's their only problem.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to defend the Patriots, I'm like 100% with Bear on that one because it's just like for instance, even the Spygate thing from way back when, this was something that all the teams were doing.
Oh yeah.
It's just that Bill Belichick was good at it and he got caught.
It happens in baseball too. Like the Astros got caught with it, and no teams came out about it because all of them are doing it. So
I'm not gonna get into specifics because I hate talking about this shit because it's all anyone ever talks about now. But if you look back at all the shit that the Patriots have gotten caught for, there are literally the exact same comparable situations that happen on other teams that don't matter because they're not winning. That's it. I'm serious. That is the difference. It's because we're winning, the attention is put on our team for the most minute bullshit, and I'm so sick of it.
It is funny though too that that this thing broke out ahead of the Bengals game, as if they needed to, they absolutely had to cheat to beat the fucking Bengals.
It is the Bengals.
Yeah,
gotta watch out for those Bengals. But that's the thing with the Astros. Being an Astros fan, I'm like, why is this even a thing that you guys are talking about? Every team does it. It's scouting.
Yeah.
Literally every team does it. It's only made a big deal because, as Bear said, because the team that won the World Series happened to win the World Series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm all for if they want to crack down on all of it, that would be great. But but
they'll never be able to stop it.
Now, yeah, exactly. As it stands right now, the Belichick is doing what he has always done, which is flex the rules as much as possible to give every possible advantage to his team. And
we do that on the field, dude. People fucking remember 4 years ago when Harbaugh, the coach Harbaugh of the Ravens, was pissed off at us because we ran a formation he thought was illegal, and then Coach Belichick was like, "Yeah, he should study the rule book more because that's a perfectly legal play." People get mad at us for that all the time.
Actually, a couple of years ago, it was more common actually at the beginning of this season, in fact. But and I talked about it too. But a couple of years ago, the Patriots won the Super Bowl partially on the back of a play where they have this ineligible man downfield kind of thing to trick people, and teams were using it this year actually for some reason early in the season. But it really is just they read the rule book, understood how it could be, how it like, oh, this is kind of a loophole that we can exploit. And it's not technically illegal. And they did it, and it was effective. It worked. It got them some touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I genuinely didn't want to talk about it very much. And I tricked us into doing it anyway, though. So I'm sorry about that. But
Hey, it's all good.
yeah, it's still like back to the actual football aspect of things. We're still in work in progress. Hopefully we're going to get a bye. That's it.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I really want the bye because I don't want to go to Seattle or San Francisco or even Minnesota for them. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay in Green Bay. Or I guess Patriots want to, stay in the nice,
I don't want to go to
cold.
Green Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. Speaking of which, we had another controversial call. I forgot to bring that up. Where our punt returner called for a fair catch, or he didn't call for a fair catch, and then they hit him, and they called fair catch interference when he didn't wave for it. But it was mainly because he hit him so hard. It was one of those things that I think they're like, that's kind of like roughing the guy, even though it was actually a pretty legal hit by Cordell Patterson. But then every Bears fan, like, here it comes again, Packer calls. Even though for the rest of the game it was like a pretty well called game. But then I would go back and forth on the like Reddits and see like Packer Reddit being like, yeah, that's not a pass interference, and then the Bear Reddit being like, his hands are all over him. And it's like, it really just every team gets calls and doesn't get calls, and it's just like, it depending on if you're winning or not, it becomes more blatantly obvious. And then there's like the Rams Saints version where it's like really blatantly obvious and they just F it up. But
You could also have a situation like myself where I feel like a crazy person and then am constantly like gaslit about it because like sometimes the refs are just garbage to the Jets a lot of the time, but we're garbage anyway. So it's like, who do I complain? Like, I can't complain. If somebody could just come back with but they were gonna lose anyway, and I can't dispute that. He's right.
Yeah.
Was that defensive pass interference miss gonna grant you guys 3 touchdowns?
Right, exactly.
What you were looking for.
So it's like, it's so frustrating, like being in that position where it's just like, well, that's just a blatant, like, fuck you, but also like,
all right.
It's like pissing on a pile of dog shit. It's not gonna make a difference.
Then we had the Seahawks Panthers, and as we all predicted, the Seahawks beat the Panthers 30-24. Russell
Panthers
Wilson.
they're still putting up a fight, but they're not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same. McCaffrey got a lot of yards. Kyle Allen didn't do great. Their defense is meh. And Russell Wilson, 20 of 26, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Gordon threw a pass and missed it, and then he got banned from the NFL. Because he was violating the policies of performance-enhancing substances. Again.
I shouldn't laugh because the story's sad, but like just the way he presented it is funny.
He's got an addiction problem. What an
I
idiot.
know.
Get him.
It's so funny.
I do wish that they would stop calling them performance-enhancing substances.
Yeah, it's weed. Like he's got a weed problem.
Well, it's not even like it's like for him. Actually, that's one of the things, right? Is that like people think of him as the weed guy, but it's not that. It's like he's been on pills since he was 12.
Yeah.
He has a serious medical condition, like a problem that needs to be dealt with. And I'm sorry if he's loaded up on 30 oxys before the game, it's not enhancing his performance. He's just high as fuck, dude. Like.
The fact that he's able to do these things in those conditions is a miracle in and of itself, I suppose.
For real.
Yeah. Well, now the Seahawks will lose him. He actually had a 58-yard catch this game too, so he's still making plays.
I hope that man can
Just fix
Get
his
stuff
life.
working for
No,
him.
I feel bad for laughing because like he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so much potential. It's just
He
unfortunate.
seems
Nah,
like a
it's
good guy
funnier.
otherwise too. Like
It's funnier just to be like, oopsie. I didn't
Oops.
It is, but I feel bad still.
Chris Carson ran for 133 and 2 touchdowns. Dude, I want another Packers-Seahawks playoff brawl. That's what I want. I think it's about time. It's been a few years since the onside kick fiesta. Or
You're
the
probably
old
gonna
Matt
get it,
Hassel.
dude.
Yeah. We could have another Matt Hasselbeck, like, we'll take the ball and we'll score. And then he throws a pick six. That was a great
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I remember
I
that
love that.
so crisply.
I love
Yeah,
that.
we've got some nice history with the Seahawks again. That's why I hate them.
Yeah, they can kill Rodgers now. My fantasy season's done, so I don't care about him.
Yeah.
Texans won the South Bowl.
Yeah, Texans
Oh,
won the
yeah.
South Bowl, 24-21, close game. They
Yeah,
had
it
a
was very close.
14-0 lead, but then the Titans
None of us
came
picked
back.
them to win either.
Yeah. It's because like the Texans are kind of like the new Titans. Essentially, they win one week, they lose the next week, they get blown out, then they win. I don't know what they're doing.
And there's like triple irony there because they are the new Titans.
Yeah. They played pretty well. Deshaun Watson, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Well, 2 picks aren't as good. Carlos Hyde, 104 yards and a touchdown. Kenny Stills, 2 touchdowns. Titans, Tannehill was 22 of 36, 2 TDs, a pick, 279. Not his greatest game. Derrick Henry only had 86 yards. So they stopped Derrick Henry, actually. A.J. Brown, 114 and a touchdown.
This is a crazy stat. The Titans have made 44.4% of their field goals this season, on pace to be the worst kicking team in
Oh my God.
36 years.
Jesus Christ.
That's
They
god-awful.
They missed their only field goal they attempted, which would have, I guess, tied the game.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
That's
actually, it was
huge.
blocked. I'm watching the highlights right now. It was blocked.
Oh.
Actually.
Now you
Dang.
talk about someone who really needs to talk to Ninja. Hey,
yeah, they could
He
use
knows
him on
what-
the kicking
he
staff.
knows how to kick. He played soccer for 18 years.
By the way, AJ Brown slowly becoming like the new AJ of the league, like the AJ Green, because you go from green to brown. He's the new up and coming color. Who knows? AJ White might be a thing. Then AJ Black, AJ. Actually, are there like in college? Are there like AJ Pink, AJ Red? I'd love to have a team of AJs.
I'm gonna let Crendor talk his way out of this one. for
Yeah.
saying that green is the new brown.
Gonna keep keep quiet on this.
Well-
Yeah, you got brown now, but maybe you'll have white later. It's like, ugh.
Yep. Getting all
I'm
the,
not
getting all the
making
sound
racial
outs right here.
statements. All right, I'm trying to go through colors.
It's like,
We have to protect the sanctity of discussing a color.
Yeah.
Seriously.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
I see everybody as people, and you guys turn it into a racial thing.
I see it as a blonde, brunette, redhead.
AJ Redhead.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Either way, AJ Brown's very good, and he's probably gonna be the next up and coming wide receiver. Honestly, like he's having huge games. But the Titans lose, so they fall to 8-6, and they continue to be a game behind the Texans for the.
Barring a miracle, I think they're out.
yeah.
No,
Or-
they're
no,
still
are
in
they
it.
they're still in wild card, right?
They,
Yeah, they're still in wild card.
they play the Texans week 17 still.
Yeah, they
So-
play one more
and
time this
they can
season.
still win the division, and they're still in it with the wild card because they have the same record as the Steelers.
Never mind. Just remove that previous statement I made.
yeah.
It is crazy though too. Like the Texans are so fucking weird, man. Because it's just like this team again. I feel like is probably gonna make it to the playoffs and then go one and done or something.
Yeah.
It's what it feels like.
Dude,
but-
they beat us. So like if they play us again, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky because the Texans play the Buccaneers, and you never know what happens against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
then
point.
the
It's
Steelers.
like Pawn Stars. You just never know what's gonna walk through those doors.
Yeah. Steelers play the Jets, so if the Steelers lose and the Titans win, they take over the wild card. But the Titans play the Saints, so that's something. But it's in Tennessee, so that could be a little, some weather impacting that. And then the final week, the Titans play the Texans again, and the Steelers play the Ravens, so they could get in that way, but they'd have to win one. So it's a little like a little tricky playoff situations going on.
yeah.
Playoffs.
Anyway, then the Dolphins and the Giants played.
All right, cool.
All right, moving on.
Yeah,
Hey,
moving on,
Eli
yeah.
Manning, in classic Eli Manning fashion, 20 of 28, 283, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. He passed up Aaron Rodgers in one game, an interception. Saquon,
Good job,
112,
Eli.
2
Way to go.
touchdowns. Dolphins had Devontae Parker did well again after I needed him to do well last week. That's okay. Who needs that? Really, the Dolphins win this because they move up in draft positioning.
Yep.
Then the Eagles and Redskins played. I picked the Redskins. They actually made it really close. It was like 24-24. Like
Yeah.
final 2 minutes.
Haskins is starting to come into his own here, dude.
Yeah.
He's been playing well.
Yeah, when I
That's
saw him
easy
play the
doing.
Packers, he actually looked good. And then this game, 19 of 28, 261, 2 touchdowns.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, good for that man. I want him to succeed.
Yeah.
I didn't think that he would, but
Dude, if
I
he
hope
can right the
does.
ship in fucking DC,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
take him anywhere.
he'll be a fucking hero for forever. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
this organization has been hell for a long time now.
And Carson Wentz, 30 of 43, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, throwing pretty much to tight ends nonstop. And
Dude,
like
same as
some
last
peanuts.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't have wide receivers, I guess.
Miles
Just
Sanders.
throw to the
100
big guys.
Miles Sanders ran for 122 and a touchdown, so they had that going for him as well. But it was a good game, back and forth, offensive battle. Never would have thought that, but I was like, dude, I'm going to win the Redskins game, and then the Eagles won. But hey, look at that. The Cowboys and the Eagles are actually trying to win again.
Yeah.
Crazy
That's
stuff.
Imagine that.
Pick the perfect time to try.
Yeah. Speaking of not winning, the Broncos got killed by the Chiefs 23-3.
Yep.
Drew Lock, 18 of 40, 200 yards and a pick. That's not good.
Oof.
Philip Lindsay ran for 32 yards. Noah Fant.
They had nothing.
Great
Yeah, they
job,
didn't.
Lindsay. I'm glad I drafted you last week. You saved me last week, but you
Yeah.
killed me this week.
Speaking of tight ends, Travis Kelce had 142 yards, 11 catches. So
Yeah.
they went to him a lot. Pat Mahomes,
He's the guy.
340.
He's the top tight end now, right? Like with
Oh,
Broncos.
yeah.
Kittle.
Kittle's probably
I
top
know.
tight end.
That's the thing that's so confusing. Is it maybe there's no just one guy. Maybe it's like 3 guys.
I mean,
Maybe
Zach
it's
Ertz.
Dorsey, Kittle, and Ertz. Yeah. Maybe it's those
I'm
3
a
guys.
bit of a homer, but Gronk was so standout that like I don't think it's fair to really say that there's going to be another one like him that stands alone in the league anymore. Like
Yeah, you might be right.
he was like all time dominant.
He was stupidly
He
dominant.
was, he was okay.
That's a fun contribution to the conversation.
Also, the Packers actually got like a secret weapon kind of. They got Sternberger, who's a tight end they drafted in the 3rd round, and I was watching a thing on Reddit where it says when Rodgers starts looking his way, watch out, because he's like blowing by receivers and getting wide open. So he may be our like dark horse we need. Who knows? Or Rodgers will hold on to the ball too long, get sacked, and then we lose. Anyway,
I'm gonna refill my coffee in my Alpaca Patrol coffee mug.
Oh, hell yeah!
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Almost as crazy as me
Rob
wearing
has-
my Krensloth sweatpants right now from Krensloth.com.
I hate everyone here.
You don't hate the Buccaneers, who won 38-17. Well,
That's
I guess you
great.
didn't pick them, so you actually kind of hate
No,
them.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I was the only one who
he's
didn't pick
actually
them.
the only one. Yeah.
I'm actually the only one here who hates the Buccaneers right
Well,
now.
the Detroit Lions are playing with like an entire team of backup players.
Yep.
So David Blau, 2 picks, 260 yards. Wes Hills ran for 21 yards on 10 carries, but he had 2 touchdowns. Amendola
You know-
had 100 yards receiving. That's something.
I'm looking at the stats, and Jameis actually had a great day, 458 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. But it was funny because I remember I was watching Red Zone at the time when this game was on, and like Hansen checks in, and he's like, "Yeah, so the Bucks, Jameis Winston with a touchdown and a pick in the first quarter." And I just laughed and
Yep.
thought of Sinvicta. I thought of the anger that was fueling him at the
Well,
moment.
Oh, I don't watch them anymore. I haven't watched them for weeks.
I linked this article or this Reddit thing that said Winston has passed 458 passing yards, and he's the first quarterback in history with 2 consecutive 450-yard games.
Wow.
So he has almost 1,000 yards in 2 games, but he also leads the league in interceptions with
Yeah, I mean,
24.
if I played against like a T-ball team from kindergarten, I'm gonna look great as well on paper.
Well, I
Essentially what
also
Jameis has been playing against.
I just said Jameis. He's kind of like an off-brand generic Brett Favre that got dropped a few times before getting put on the shelf.
Got dropped out the tent before he was fully done.
I feel like I could see him getting the Buccaneers to the playoffs through sheer just throwing the ball up there to his good wide receivers and then throwing like 5 interceptions in the wild card round.
Yeah, he's the Coach Crendor of the league. He makes if you make a crazy call, you make enough crazy calls, eventually you're gonna be right with one of them and look like a freaking genius. And I hate the fact everyone's been at like they're I can't wait to hear what Invictus has to say about this, or how can you keep hating on Jameis Winston? He's the first quarterback in NFL history 40 year. It's like, yeah, that's great. I'm super thrilled that the organization is gonna take these 2 games and use that to justify to re-sign him next year. So
yeah,
I am well and happily prepared to not watch the Buccaneers or cheer for them for the next 4 years.
It's someone said he's the penny stock of quarterbacks.
Yep.
Someone said subtract like 15 interceptions and he'll be an elite quarterback.
Yep.
Probably some fumbles as well.
You're gonna have to subtract a lot more than 15 interceptions. 15 interceptions is like 3 games for Jameis Winston.
Like I feel like Jameis Winston subscribes to the Wayne Gretzky school of thought, which is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so he just takes every shot.
Someone said the
you
Bucks,
can't win.
The Bucks are now 4-1 when Winston throws an interception on the opening drive.
Yep.
That's
all they need.
Stat.
That's all they need is him just to throw a pick and in the first 3 passes of the game, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
He, he's the scratch off lotto ticket. You can't win if you don't play, Coach.
A Buccaneers.
So buy as many tickets as possible.
A Buccaneers fan. Said this is some real Buccaneers shit, like when Fitzmagic was the first player with 3 consecutive 400 yards game.
Yep.
Well, good job, Buccaneers. You got the 7-7.
It's funny because it is actually funny because if you look at Winston's stats, they really do look very similar to like a year of Brett Favre.
Yeah.
You could pick it out of a hat basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it is funny though to see like I think to some degree how the league has changed because Brett Favre was doing that and winning Super Bowl, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 7-7.
Yeah, he also lost us a lot of playoff games doing that. Thinking back, but he had some very exciting play. That's the thing. You get a lot of exciting touchdowns and like thrilling comebacks and big yardage and everything. But then you also get 5 interceptions against the Rams in the playoffs. You also get throwing a pick in overtime against the Giants when you're about to go to the Super Bowl, play the Patriots in 2007. You also get you get a lot of fun times like that.
Yeah, and Lord only knows how many games we've lost because of Jameis Winston making terrible decisions. So I don't want to hear anyone say. I'm not saying anyone here has been saying it. I'm just saying proverbially.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anyone saying that. Well, he just needs to tighten up and he'll be great. He's putting up playoff number stats with his yards and his touchdowns. Just ignore the interceptions. He's making plays. Yeah, okay. Your thing there. Are you Bruce Arians' ghostwriter or something over here?
Well, speaking of Bruce Arians, he used to coach the Cardinals, and the Cardinals beat the Browns.
Yay!
Yay!
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
Bittersweet.
Well,
I love that Bear's the only one who's still on the Browns train at this point.
I'm still on the Browns train, I'll have you know.
You pick him to win against the Cardinals.
Well, I mean, it does mean that I'm sacrifice my record. I'm not sacrificing my record for the Browns. That's correct, but I'm still rooting for them.
Who picked Kenyon Drake to rush for 4 fucking touchdowns?
Seriously,
on the day? That's a nice stat
4
line
touchdowns,
right
137. Kyler Murray
Dolphins
for
gave him
219.
away for pennies too.
Yeah. Murray even ran for 56 yards. Looking at it. So it's a pretty solid game for the Cardinals. And then Baker Mayfield didn't do terrible. 247, 2 touchdowns, a pick, 30-43. Chubb ran for 127 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
It's I don't know, man. The Browns are just cursed.
Yeah. Might be.
I mean, again, we gotta take the perspective of things here and realize they are on the right track. We set our
True, yeah.
expectations for this organization sky high this year, and they won 6 games, which is more than they won in the last 3 years combined.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
they're doing okay. It's just
They beat the
also just lost to the
Ravens.
Cardinals. Yeah, they beat the Ravens for God's sake. Like, they're doing better. It's just certainly not where a team that had playoff hopes wants to be.
Which is probably the greatest like WTF noodle scratcher there is of the entire season. Is like, how did that happen? Especially now when we see that the Ravens are for real.
I would say Freddie
Oh,
Kitchens
that game,
is a bad coach. But I think the players. I think if they had a good coach, they might be a few wins more. I don't trust Freddie Kitchens.
They're sticking with him though.
Yeah, it also doesn't look like, it doesn't feel like Baker has improved. It feels like the league figured him out and the team hasn't helped him,
Yeah.
Well, sophomore slump though, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Is that it's probably a sophomore, and that's what I would say to Browns fans is that, like, I know that he's not having a great year right now, but I do still believe that Baker's the guy. So like I think they have their QB. That's actually one of the few like beams of light that is shining down on the Jets, is that even though I know we're trash right now, like, I know I can tell that Sam Darnold is legit. He seems legit. Now, whether or not he stays with the team,
Darnold.
yeah, like whether or not he stays with the team is a whole other story. But like, worst case, we're probably in like a Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan type situation where we completely ruin his career, which would be bad. But at least I get to watch him throw some balls.
To be fair, they've also been without Myles Garrett, even though he's a giant douche noodle. But that's still a pass rush that they're missing. But either way, they're making progress. They're making progress.
And Cards too, actually.
Yeah,
by the
Cardinals
way.
do. And they're in like
I think
one of the hardest divisions in football.
it was like, and also their team was like one of the fucking worst coming into this year, and then they hamstrung themselves even further in a rebuild by giving up a mountain of picks for Kyler Murray. But I don't know. You ask me, he is their guy.
Yeah.
So that's good.
There's very few teams without a. I mean, like, I know Sinvicta's going to say something here, but there's very few teams that don't have a quarterback locked in right now. Which is
let me say something.
which is not what you expect to see. Usually there's like 10 to 12 teams that are wondering what the fuck to do with them.
Yeah. It's been weird the past couple of years. It has been more straightforward that QBs are like, dude, I think it's honestly the spread system in college. Because like how it used to be is college was heavy running, which meant that QBs were probably not as well trained because they weren't as important, right? It was all about the big running back. I mean, even the Heisman Trophy is a fucking running back.
Yeah.
But for the past several years now, it's all been spread offense. So all these QBs are winning these games by like 50 points by throwing the ball like 5 million times a year. I think they're just getting really good coming out of college.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I don't watch college, so I'll take your word for it.
The Browns were easier to sweep aside as I'm done whenever Baker was being totally insufferable. I will say that.
Yeah. He needed a good punch in the gut, essentially.
Yeah.
So
it'll probably be good for him, I think.
Yeah, he'll get humbled out. So speaking of what the shit's going on, the Jaguars beat the Raiders.
Being humbled, dude. The fucking Raiders last home game and Minshew mania takes over.
Minshew, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, taking down the Raiders in their farewell final game in Oakland.
I love Gardner Minshew the second, the first. He's so good.
The second, the first.
Also, let me say, there's some quotes from Minshew. He said, in winning the last game at the Coliseum, quote, "Piece of football history, something special to be a part of. It'll be like an Aflac trivia question in 20 years.
He's so right, dude. Because he's like the perfect trivia name, don't you think? It was like, well, that's a little nugget of information you got to store away for later on.
Which
But wait,
quarterback was the last winning quarterback in Oakland's final game?
but wait, there's more. Gardner Minshew on a comeback win in Oakland, quote, "It was an awesome experience to be here. I saw more middle fingers today than I have my whole life. It was fun to ruin that for them."
Oh, he's the greatest, man.
The legend grows.
Do you think if they have him as a Jeopardy question, if they say who is Gardner Minshew, they won't give it to him because they have to say who's Gardner Minshew the second?
Yeah,
The second, the first.
Yeah.
The second,
Oh,
the
no
first,
doubt.
right?
Yeah. Dude, like you know how like in Pittsburgh it's crazy because they keep drafting like good wide receivers, good running backs. Other teams have like different like the other teams have different positions that they go for. For some reason, the Jaguars seem only capable of drafting meme quarterbacks,
Yes.
and it's great, and I love it.
It's
Even
a meme
signing
city,
memes.
for God's sake, dude.
It really is, yeah.
They sign meme quarterbacks too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even their owner is the memeiest owner. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got the twisty mustache. It's awesome, by the way. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the one that's down on the field all the time, right? Oh no, I'm thinking about the Falcons owner. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is Khan. His name
Shad
is
Khan, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy's cool too. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
him.
God. Well, good luck Raiders as you go to Vegas. I guess.
Yep. Have fun, you filthy animals.
Come
Yeah.
on over. It gets real fucking hot.
Yeah, they're gonna need some help apparently because they got Josh Jacobs, you got Derek Carr. It's not too bad. You just need a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs is on pace for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
All I'll say is that if the Raiders win the Super Bowl like next year, then the NFL is rigged. Like just straight up. Like that's just perfect example. That's it. It's
That just
definitely
made
the
a
case.
shitload of people a lot of money in 2020.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So next up, the Vikings destroyed the Chargers 39-10.
Mm-hmm.
And it, from the looks of it, they didn't even do a lot on offense. So it must. Have
It
been a
was
lot
the
of
defense, dude.
Yeah.
The Vikings defense. They fucking crushed them. Like I think it was a pick six. How many? 3 interceptions and
Oh,
a
boy.
fumble recovery. I want to say,
Yeah.
if not 2. So that was it was bad. It was bad look
Yeah.
for old
It-
P ribs, dude.
Coach, who was the only person to pick the Chargers to go up over
All right.
the
No, it's fine. It's
Don't-
whatever.
something about a
Uh,
cruisy call, something like that.
Yeah. That's what. You know what? They still stopped them pretty well on offense. Kirk Cousins, 19 of 25, 207, a TD and a pick. Rushing, Mike Boone, 56 yards, 2
Mike
touchdowns.
Boone over
Boone.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook hurt his shoulder. Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's
uh-oh.
bad.
Uh-oh.
That explains it.
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder, and apparently he might not even play next week.
Oh no.
But the coach is saying he's going to play through it. So even if he does play, that's not very good.
Yeah, that really impacts their chances, dude. That's a big part of their offense.
That's not
He's
good for them.
He's a power runner too, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he'll run into you. So you got your shoulders hurt, and you're not gonna like run into somebody unless
Yeah.
you're a madman, which maybe he is.
It's definitely suboptimal, Coach.
Yeah.
It's definitely suboptimal. So it's gonna be interesting because we play him on Monday night next week. So I can't wait
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear Booger McFarland. Don't
Oh.
worry, we'll get to that soon. Cowboys beat the Rams 44-21. As I
Dude, badly beat the Rams. Like
Destroyed them.
after the Rams 2 wins in a row, I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe they've turned it around. And then I picked the Rams, and now I will never pick the Rams again and jump back on my overrated train.
this is a mind fuck for me, dude. How'd the Cowboys beat the Rams this badly? It was not even as close as 44-21 would indicate. This was some garbage time
Yeah.
points they put up again. This was like the Ravens Jets game.
Yeah, it really was. I have no idea. I feel like maybe they just figured out, oh, hey, we got to rush Jared Goff again,
Oh.
and then they did. I don't know.
No, I figured it out.
What?
So Ezekiel Elliott had 117 yards and 2 touchdowns on 24 carries, which is a 4.9 average.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Tony Pollard also had 131 yards on 12 carries and a touchdown for a 10.9 average.
Yeah, that'll
So-
do it. Wow.
Yeah,
Where did their run defense? Because they have Aaron fucking Donald.
Yeah.
Hey,
Donald.
He's been like quiet this year,
yeah,
it feels
well,
like.
they have. I feel like maybe he's been getting double or triple teamed, and their other players are just bad.
They have Clay Matthews.
Yeah, but he's like
Oh, yeah.
80.
Yeah.
They have like 80-year-old Clay Matthews, Dante Fowler, who I figured.
dad
He's only
played now?
33. He's still a
Ancient, dude.
playable age.
Dante Fowler was supposed to be good. He hasn't done anything. Jalen Ramsey, not doing
Eric
anything.
Weddle.
Yeah, Eric Weddle's actually pretty good. Like, they've got some good players. I guess they're not good anymore.
Malcolm Brown, dude. Like, this fucking team is loaded. How did this happen?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
You know, though, when reading out those names, a lot of them are like, heroes of ages past.
Yeah.
And I was concerned about that for the Rams, that the kind of players that they were picking up in free agency was very much like a shotgun blast, let's win the Super Bowl right
Yeah.
now, and then they didn't, and so it might be that they're feeling the consequences of just
Mhm.
picking up, because
I
like
kinda-
there have been a lot of teams in history and that won the Super Bowl, and
yeah.
I'd have to imagine a good portion of them, at least from my anecdotal experience, is not a mercenary team.
Yeah.
Usually teams that have high amounts of free agents building their roster don't do that well all the way
They
down.
don't have
Yeah.
this synergy.
Yeah.
The whole point of free agency is you fill a couple holes that you need to fill. Like, that's the
Yeah.
whole, like, oh, we just,
Don't
we
build a
didn't
team.
get, like, kind of what the Packers did. They're like, oh, we have shitty pass rush. We'll pick up these 2 pass rushers. And they've been great. But then
Yeah.
we got a safety because we had shitty safeties. And that's, like, all we did.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to go overboard. Like, we'll just put a free agent in every position. That's
Yeah.
easy. But yeah, it's...
As the only person here who picked the Cowboys to beat the Rams, I'm qualified to tell you this is the reason why that happened.
I see.
Fair enough.
It reminds me almost of a Jimmy Graham situation because he's kind of...
Ancient.
He kind of just makes you want to vomit every time you see him
Oh, right,
out
yeah.
there running routes because he's not good anymore. Like he's not as good, I should say. Like he's still
Did you know
okay.
he played basketball, Coach?
I did, and he should start playing basketball again because he's dropped some passes, and he has not been old Jimmy Graham that was kind of like Gronk-esque. He's more like crippled Jimmy Graham that sometimes makes a play, and then you're like, hey, Jimmy Graham did a thing, and that's that. So that's neat. I'm just hoping he coaches up the younger tight ends so that they can be good while he fades to the sunset.
You know who's surprisingly not that though?
Hmm.
And I kind of hate to say it.
Who?
Is Jason Witten.
Yeah.
He took a year off, came back. It's like the same. He's got the same stats as he did when he left. Like he's got 5,000 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year, which is like
he's old.
he's old as shit, man.
No one is happier about his return back to football than every person who's ever listened to the NFL.
Yes.
Yep.
That is a truther. Tell you what else is a truther, though. The Atlanta Falcons. I picked the Atlanta Falcon upset trap game, and there it is.
Again, if you make a trap call every single game, one of them is eventually going to be correct.
I knew this was the one. I almost locked this one in. That's how positive I was in this one. The Falcons, man, they take down giants. They just can't take down a lot of other things. Matt Ryan.
Put that on their trophy case right next to their 5-9 record for this.
Yeah.
Julio Jones, 134, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. Matt Ryan, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. Freeman, 39 yards on 12 carries. Not great. It was, man, I don't know how they did it, but they did it.
Yeah.
Fucking weird, man.
Very
Like-
weird.
They beat the Saints and 49ers, and
Yeah.
they're not even close to contending for the playoffs. What the fuck?
They can't beat the Bucks or the Panthers.
They couldn't really run the ball from Mostert had 54 yards on 14 carries and a touchdown. It's not bad, but it's not like amazing. Kittle had 134 yards on 13 catches, but their second receiver was Deebo Samuel with 29 yards on 1 catch, and then third was Kendrick Bourne with 11 yards on 1 catch. Even Emmanuel Sanders only had 9 yards.
Oh yeah, that's actually very monk-ass for this game. So if you look at their receptions and target breakdown, like Kittle was targeted 17 times.
Yeah.
The next guy down was targeted 3 times. That's kind of weird
That
because
is
like
weird.
it seems like the receiving core is actually quite good outside of just Kittle.
It was actually Emmanuel Sanders targeted 4 times. I only know that because I had him on my team, of course. My
weird.
amazing fantasy team.
Still, it's quite the
Giant
drop off from
you're right. Yeah,
17.
yeah no,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy. Like that's
More than
that's
every
a lot.
other receiver combined. I
Oh,
imagine.
yeah.
Mhm. Like when
So
when the playoffs hit, that's going to be what teams are looking at. Like, how do we stop Kittle and make them have to do other things?
Yeah. Or just make them only go to Kittle. Like
Yeah.
that's you have to force them into only going to the
That's
one.
true. Yeah, and even
Mhm.
if he does that and goes for 150 yards, you can still beat him. Clearly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that may have shown a little weakness there, but
Yeah.
we'll see down the line. We'll see. Bills beat the Steelers 17-10, although it was a close game at the end.
Yeah, I was hoping that this would not happen, but sadly, the Bills are still hanging around, dude. This is
Yep.
the first time in a long time the Bills have actually been good. Like they've
Yeah.
had years where they've been kind of sneaky, like, oh, maybe they can do something. But this year they're like, wow, yeah, okay, that's a good
Yeah.
team.
Their defense is insane. Like it's 4 interceptions on Hodges. They also had 4 sacks. Like they're scary good. And then on top of that, Josh Allen seems to just get slowly better. 139 yards, TD a pick, but he also ran for 28 yards and a touchdown. Devin Singletary 87 yards. John Brown 99 yards receiving. Like they've got it feels like they've got enough on offense to like get it done. They're kind of like a worse generic version of the Ravens almost. Like they're not quite the Ravens, but they're kind of in a similar format.
Honestly, it feels like I think the best. I really do think that the best comparison for Josh Allen is Cam Newton.
Mhm.
Like if you look at the stats, like they're almost identical to a Cam year, which is, he's like a big body guy that can run like reasonably fast. He's not like, Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick or anything, but like he's a big guy, hard to take down, and he could game that way. And that's working because they have an incredibly good defense on top of that. So I think they're legitimately a scary team. Like I said, the thing about the playoffs is now they're gonna be in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So once they get into the tournament, that defense is gonna be really fucking scary for any team that they're up against.
Yeah. It's and I don't let's see, can they win the division? I don't think it's looking too good.
They can if they beat us and then we lose we lose week 17 and they
Oh
win
yeah,
week
that's what it is.
then they can win the division.
Yeah.
Who the
so
Patriots played in week 17.
The
the
Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins.
It's not gonna happen.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. The Dolphins are
Well,
like the ragtag.
Of course, Crendor will pick the Dolphins.
Oh, I'll
that
pick the
week.
Dolphins. Unless the Patriots win next week, in which case I'll pick the.
He's fallen to third place in Pick'em, so he's gonna just start throwing out the real
we'll have some
crazy
comebacks.
plays.
So it's gonna be an interesting finish to the AFC East for the first time, or AFC North or East North
For the first
East.
time, East. Yeah.
Yeah, in a long time.
Probably 20 years, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Well, no, the Jets won one time. Remember?
oh yeah, the Jets won that one time.
Yeah, that one time.
That was good.
That was good.
Good times. Good times.
Wait,
Rob.
was that when they had what's that running back?
Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin.
Yeah, Curtis
Yeah.
Martin. Oh man,
Yeah,
that was
That was in the Pennington years.
Chad
Yeah,
Pennington. dude.
Pennington.
Like,
oh my god.
I wasn't even a fan back then, but like I went back and watched a lot of Chad Pennington. And honestly, like that guy, it's really a shame what happened to him.
Yeah.
Because if he hadn't gotten injured on his shoulder and fucked up his throwing, Like he probably would have been with us for like 20 years, and he might have won some shit with us because he was really good, actually.
He was really good.
I always considered him to be the next possible Manning. He could have been the Jets Manning.
He had the potential, but of course the Jets are cursed, so he had to get destroyed by us, as is tradition.
As is tradition.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate. But now you got Darnold.
Yeah, well, we'll destroy him too.
Slowly but surely. Speaking of destroying things,
every other team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Speaking of destroying things, the Saints destroyed the Colts and their playoff chances.
Yeah.
Woo.
Absolutely.
Terrible game.
I mean, there has to be just one glaring focal point of this, and that's 29 out of 30.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit. That is
Christ.
Those are Madden playing on rookie numbers.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen in the NFL. That is ridiculous.
30 throws and you miss one and still throw 4 touchdowns and 300 yards.
God, what an
was
idiot.
The one that he missed? Like, I need to see what the one that he
It
missed.
was like the 7th throw in the game, so it wasn't something that would end up being like a heartbreaker. But it was apparently I didn't actually watch it, but apparently it was a throw where he probably could have gone for a check down, but he didn't for some reason and decided to make a different play. So he probably could have been perfect on the day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's the highest. Insane. That's the highest single season or single game completion percentage in NFL history.
Ooh.
And he is the highest career completion percentage out of anybody. And I think he's very far in the lead on that too, by the way.
It's a shock at how criminally underrated he is.
Like at this point, he is entering GOAT conversation without the accolades, which is nuts.
It's a shame because the thing about Brees is that the only accolades that he doesn't have are the rings. He's only got 1 ring, and that's the only thing that holds him out of that conversation for most people. Because like if you look at the other stuff, he's
almost like clearly the best.
Yeah, like seriously, like if you look at like most yards in the season, he has out of the top 10, he has like 5 of those records. Like most touchdowns in a season, he's got like 3 of them out of the top 10. Like it's crazy. Like he is a monster. No one has done volume as well as him, but also no one has done efficiency as well as him, which is crazy. They usually do not go hand in hand for most QBs. So he's an insanely gifted athlete. I've showed you guys, I think I mentioned it on the Sports Science, but I've showed you guys before the old Sports Science with Drew Brees where he has to hit an archery target like an Olympic archer at the same range. And they're like, oh yeah, Olympic archers hit the bullseye like, maybe half the time, a little bit less than that. And Drew goes 10 for 10 on it.
My God.
It's just amazing.
Well, he also had Michael Thomas to throw to, 128 yards, 12 catches, and a touchdown. Not too bad.
About to set the single season reception record, if I am not mistaken. I think he's like 6 or 7 away.
Michael Thomas is also a god.
Yeah, he's got 1,552 yards on 133 catches. Next in line.
I think the record's 139 by Marvin Harrison.
Oh wow. Yeah, Hopkins is next in line at 99.
That's crazy. That's a giant difference.
That's wild.
Man, I wish we still had Jared Cook instead of Jimmy Graham. Oh well. On the other side,
he played basketball.
He did play basketball. Jacoby Brissett had 165 yards. That's it. Marlon Mack had 19 yards rushing on 11 carries. And they didn't really do anything.
It was a terrible game. The highlight of the game was Booger drawing a dick on the field.
That was hilarious.
That was the highlight. And Rocky Sin. Rocky Sin had 8 tackles.
I put it in the foosball one in case you didn't see it, Bear.
Yeah,
it's super good.
It's quite good.
He drew a penis on the field.
Oh, dude, that's a dick.
Yeah, he drew a
dick.
Yeah, he drew a big
I'll
old
link
dick
it
on
in
the
the
field.
thing.
Yeah.
It's almost even got like the little slit at the top, man.
Yeah. He starts to draw the head. You can see it in that.
Yeah,
picture. Like, look at it.
might as well just draw it squirting something, Booger. Come on.
Also,
Well, they want to hit the end zone in these regions.
Yeah. These would be these 3 dots right here would have been perfect. You start circling it.
we also got some quality Booger quotes. Here's one.
boy.
Eli Apple isn't a bad corner. He just makes mistakes constantly. Sorry to break it to you, but that makes a bad corner. Also,
He's not a bad pilot. He just makes mistakes constantly.
He just crashes like every plane he ever flew.
also, he's the same guy who's like, I don't care what the stat sheet says. He's having a great game. It's like, well, the stat sheet says he's having a great game.
Right, yeah.
He also said, Michael Thomas can't beat you vertically.
This was the best one here.
I don't get how a guy
He
about
might
to
as well
break.
probably.
he's
He
about to
should have
break
said
the
that while
record.
he was going like a 60-yard bomb. I'm sure. He just,
Yeah. Jesus. Well,
Dude's literally about to break the NFL record. He's like, yeah, he can't beat you vertically. Thanks, Booger.
yeah. Thanks, Booger.
Great
for-
call. It's I mean it's no Popeye's biscuit, but it's close. But man, oh man, do I love that clip where it's like keep your eye on this guy. He's gonna go to the outside and then go the complete opposite direction. It's so
like,
hilarious.
Booger McFarland feels like Bizarro Tony Romo. Like he's wrong so often.
we were
that it is-
punished with him.
but Booger is wrong so often. It is almost inconceivable that it's not on purpose at this point. Like, is he just trolling? Like, what?
Yeah, I
He's
don't
taking
know.
a few to the head.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that, and by the way, I am on he is quite possibly the worst. I mean, he's up there with Deerdorf level at this point in terms of commentators. But the sad thing is that he was a great player and he's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
He was the Bucks, go to after Sapp retired and Simeon Rice left. I mean, like, he was the guy. And he did a lot of stuff for Tampa. He did a lot of charity stuff. So he's a really good guy, but my God, does he suck at commentary.
Yeah. And important to note, he's the worst, like, right now. But, like, I'd probably watch 100 Booger McFarland casted games before I'd watch one more Phil Simms casted game.
I hate Phil Simms.
I
hate
thank
Phil
the
Simms,
Lord.
too.
At least you can laugh at
That-
Booger.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Phil Simms just sucks at all
Yeah,
times.
he's
Phil
really
Simms
bad.
will never say that someone's a Popeye's biscuit away from being $1.40.
Yeah, Phil Simms will say instead, he's a you see, the thing is, Jim, and then his head will explode. Yeah.
The more that we talk about this, the more I'm beginning to realize I think I might actually unironically like Booger. Maybe just for like how absurd he is.
Well, here's some great Phil Simms quotes.
Oh,
I'm not a guy that believes you've got to have a lot of experience to have success in the playoffs. As a quarterback, can you throw it where you're looking?
all right.
See, these ones are just kind of like, huh? Like
Yeah.
with Booger, it's like exciting and hilarious because it's just the most absurd shit. But with Phil, you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about, Phil?
Yeah. With his exasperated.
Here's a good one. The more angles I see, the more confused I get.
Oh yeah, you gotta believe that.
Yep.
I think he's telling the truth.
Of course it's not. Of course it looks bad when you're not executing. When things go bad, it's not going to look good. And I'll end it with, remember, for it to be a forward pass, it's got to go forward.
That's a Maddenism right there.
Yeah.
Wait, what the shit does this mean? So many quarterbacks throw the ball downfield. That's wrong. Watch Aaron Rodgers throw it up the field.
What?
You don't throw it downfield, you throw it upfield.
That's why we've been fucking up. Tom's been turning around and throwing it the other way all season.
Yeah, you gotta throw it upfield, not
You gotta throw it up,
downfield.
not down. Okay,
Yeah.
dude, I get it now. What an
The
idiot.
light switch goes on, not off.
Oh, there's also, I haven't thought about it. I'm not capable of deep thinking. And hardly anything. hardly anything wrong can go bad. That's where we'll end it.
Well,
Yep.
he's right.
I mean, hardly anything wrong can go bad because it's
I'm
already
gonna-
wrong.
Yep.
Dude, I want to fucking sew that and hang it on a tapestry in my house.
It's like
I'll
live,
get
laugh,
Jess to
love.
make you a cross stitch of it.
Yeah, there you
honestly.
go.
Like, that would be...
Yeah.
Make it an ugly Christmas sweater for next year.
And that will bring us to the NFL.com power rankings.
Thank you,
Oh,
Coach
shit.
Crendor. NFL Power Rankings on NFL.com. This one is a humdinger because nothing has changed in the top 5, but I will let you all guess it anyway, starting with Robert.
The Ravens.
Yep, Bear.
Dude, these are the worst because it means if I got it wrong, that I wasn't paying close enough attention to the top five last week.
You have gotten them wrong twice in a row, so we're looking for a hat trick here.
Ah, jeez. Saints.
Yep. Coach.
49ers.
Yep. Robert.
They
did not choose. Yep. And Bear for the dunk. Again.
Seahawks.
He's done it. It is
Yeah.
indeed the Ravens, top 5. Ravens. Saints actually moved to number 2, vaulting over the Seahawks, who didn't move from 3. The Niners dropping 2 spots to 4. The Chiefs, who didn't do anything, sitting at 5. Now, guys, I hate to break it to you, but I'm gonna. This one's gonna go. You know what? I will give this one to Rob because I think that Rob will connect with us more than the other two will. So, Robert,
Yes, sir.
I'm starting with the thinnest dink this time, not the fattest doink, because the fattest doink is nothing special this this week. But the thinnest dink, Robert, I will give you a hint. In the running for the thinnest dink, it's only separated by one place that they have moved up. Both of these teams are in the NFC South. Which team has the thinnest dink and has moved up the most positions this week? And I'll give you another hint. The thinnest dink winner is 5. They moved up 5 spots, and the runner-up has moved 4 spots. Both of these teams in the NFC South.
Dude, it's gotta be. You gotta get.
That's what I'm thinking, right? It has to be the Falcons. It just has to be since they beat the Saints.
That is absolutely correct. The
All
Falcons did indeed move up from the 23rd to the 18th spot, beating only the Tampa Bay Crapaneers, moving from 20th to 16th.
Wow.
Going up 4 spots here for the first time ever, sitting at 7-7. Notable teams that the Bucs have passed: the Chicago Bears, the Falcons, the Browns, and then the Colts. Now, Bear.
Yeah.
Here you go. And by the way, another tie there. The Cardinals also moved up 4 spots, but who cares about them?
Yep.
So, Bear, for the fattest doink.
Mhm.
This one is gonna be kind of a toughie. So I'm gonna help you the same way that I helped Robert. All right, it's a tie, by the way.
Okay.
Both of these teams have moved down 3 spots. One of the teams was the only pick that Coach Crendor actually took against a heavily favored opponent and lost. And the other team is also another Coach Crendorian favorite team to root against. Name one of the 2 teams.
Damn. How well do you know Crendor?
He's talked about both of these teams in this podcast today.
Oh man.
Well, we talked about every team today, so that doesn't
But these
Give me
this one is more relevant though.
Give me the Los Angeles Chargers.
That is absolutely correct.
Whoa!
Oh,
right.
shit.
The Chargers tied with the Bears for the fattest doink of the week. Chargers slipping all the way down to 21st behind the Buccaneers, the Colts, the Browns, and the Falcons. And the Bears actually slipping 3 spots as well, going from 14th to 17th, slipping past the Buccaneers, the Rams, and the Eagles. Now, guys, this one's for Coach Crendor.
Yeah.
Your team. Your favorite team. Everyone here's favorite team. The Dallas Cowboys. What rank
Oh, no.
are the Dallas Cowboys on the NFL playoff picture, power rankings on NFL.com
Well,
playoff picture?
I guarantee the NFL.com writer was having erectile dysfunction and then saw the Cowboys win that game, and his boner got so hard that he shot them back into the number 9 spot.
That is absolutely Incorrect.
Damn.
But the Dallas Cowboys, the 7-7 Dallas Cowboys moved up 3 spots
Of course.
to the
Propelled on the strength of the rankers' erection
to the
alone.
third rank in the NFL power rankings. Cowboys are now ranked 13th overall in the season, or in the league, besting the likes of such teams as the Eagles, the Rams, and then of course the Bucks. Rounding out the top 10, of course, goes Patriots at 6, Packers at 7, Vikings at 8, Texans somehow staying at 9, and the Bills actually going up to 10th. Don't ask me how the Buffalo Bills are ranked below the Texans, but that's just precisely where they need to be because it's the NFL Power Rankings on NFL.com. Bob on the internet. Go back to Coach. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
All right. Well, I'll kick it over to Rob for the Tankathon rankings right now.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll get the tankathon going. Hold on. Let's see. Did we move at all? I wonder if anything moved.
Well, the Dolphins and Giants probably swapped spots based on their results.
Yeah. And the Jaguars won.
Yeah,
I'm almost betting that something moved.
So let's see. Top 10, we got Cincinnati still at number 1. But then number 2, Giants, then Miami, then Washington, then Detroit, then Arizona, which is really sneaky.
Yeah.
And then the New York Jets at 7.
Ooh.
Woo! Getting real close to that 6th spot. We're gonna do it again. I guarantee.
You are actually going to do it again.
No, I know we are. It is 100% gonna happen. We're cursed. Jacksonville following up right behind us at number 8. Chargers at 9 and Denver at 10.
Wow, there's 6, 5, and 9 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
It's a league of groups this year. We've got the elite class, the mediocre bunch, and the garbage pail kids way down at the bottom there. Yeah.
Misfits bear.
It is a very stratified league this year, it does feel like.
It is.
And because I know that people are they're wondering about this, Rob, as a bonus, back to the power rankings real quick. True or false? The Cardinals are ranked above the New York Jets.
I'm gonna say true.
That is correct.
I think they should be too,
Yeah.
even though they have a worse record. I think they're
Worst
they have
record
more energy.
by a tie.
Yeah.
Cardinals are
Yeah.
Well,
1-1.
actually, fun fact. This isn't a fun or fact. Anyway, what I wanted to say is I really, really hope that Arizona runs the table because we have the somewhat rare opportunity of having a team finish with a record of 6 and 9.
Yep.
And that's Rob's fun fact of the day.
Thank you, Rob.
There you go. Fun fact.
All right.
69 is the sex number.
Hey,
That's it.
nice.
That's the sex number.
Well, now on to the playoff picture. The Ravens are sitting atop the AFC at 12-2. Patriots at the 2 seed at 11-3. Then we have the Chiefs at the 3 seed, Texans at the 4, Bills at the 5, and Steelers at the 6. So currently the Steelers would play the Chiefs, the Bills would go to Houston, and then those winners would go to Baltimore and New England. Which means the Ravens would probably play either the Steelers, the Bills, or the Texans, and then the Chiefs would probably play the Patriots if they won.
Well, the Vikings would play the Saints, and the Niners would play the
We're
Cowboys.
not there yet.
Okay.
Seahawks at the number 1 seed currently, Packers at the 2. Then we've got the Saints 3, Cowboys 4, 49ers 5, Vikings 6. So it'd be Vikings at New Orleans and 49ers at Dallas. And then the Vikings would likely go to Seattle.
You got 4 teams at 11-3 at the top of the NFC right now.
Yeah. It's wild.
The thing is, then if the 49ers are the 5 seed and they win and the Saints win, that means the 49ers go to Seattle and the Saints would go to Green Bay, which would be, honestly, I don't know which one I'd prefer.
You would rather play the Saints in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play the Saints in Green Bay. Well, I mean, then it'd be the 49ers in Green Bay. But then there's still the possibility of the 49ers being the 1 seed. There's even a possibility of the Packers being the 1 seed. It's kind of wonky in the NFC.
It's extremely wonky.
And really, it's going to be Cowboys or Eagles will be the team at the 4 seed. And then the Rams still have a chance to get in if the Vikings lose both these next games. But, I mean, it's possible with Dalvin Cook hurt, but the Rams also have to put together competent football play, which you flip a coin for that one.
Yeah. They have to try really hard not to lose by 30 next game. That's going to be a good bar to meet.
Actually,
the Browns and the Browns and the Raiders and the Titans are all still in the hunt in the AFC, by the way.
Yeah, but if the Titans and the Steelers win one game, then the Browns and Raiders are out of it.
Right.
So, but it's,
I want to say as an aside, by the way, it was, I don't remember how long ago, maybe 5 or 6 years now, so a ways back, but the NFL changed how they did their scheduling so that the divisional games would go all the way into like week 17.
Right.
And I gotta say, after several years of seeing it, it is a lot better this way.
Yes.
Because the end of the season is way more exciting now.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
So
Packers, Vikings for the division, Cowboys, Eagles for the division, like
Dude,
49ers,
this Cowboys
Seahawks.
Eagles game happens every year.
It really does.
Every year they fight for the division on week 16 or 17. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
Always makes everything so exciting.
Yeah. You sounded so giddy. I really hope the Titans get in, honestly. I like the Titans, but, whatever.
Yeah, I do too. I want to see Ryan Tannehill actually win the Super Bowl so that we can fire Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Titans got to beat the Saints this week, which is a brilliant segue for the next segment.
Yeah. So we'll see if that'll happen in Pick'ems.
Firing off.
Oh, God, they're on fire. Oh, no.
Please save us, sir.
What is happening right now?
Don't improv, damn it.
Oh, guess what?
Chicken
this
butt.
week, yes, but also this week, no more Thursday night football, but we've got Saturday football.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we'll be starting it off at noon with the Texans Buccaneers.
Don't say things in Central Time like it's an accepted thing.
The best
either
time
East
zone.
or West. East or West, those are
It's
the
best
universal time zones.
because it's close to all the time zones.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. How can
That's
it not
what
be the most
makes it
symmetrical
the
time
most
zone?
confusing.
Exactly.
I
No one's happy
literally-
when you go Central. It's a compromise that helps no one.
It's also a terrible. I just want to, I'm going to go on a stump here for a second. Terrible fucking time zone because in between, it's not like it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
All
It's
right.
not 1 hour behind or
Coach,
whatever.
yeah.
It's
You
you
hear
got
this
3 on
blasphemy.
one side
Yeah.
and 3
As-
on the other side.
Yeah.
Me and Sinvicta as the central time zoners.
Yeah,
All
as the dominant time zone here,
Let
we're
ex-
doing it.
yeah. Let me explain to you why it's good. All right, East Coast time. It's too late. It's too far in advance. Right now, it's like
Yep.
6:30 there almost.
Yeah, it's
that
practically
means
dead over there.
on the West Coast, it's 3:30. It's like
Dude, my
somebody's
day's
eating
just
lunch
getting
or eating
started.
dinner.
What are you talking about? Everything's fantastic over here. I got the rest of my life to look forward to.
Then on the West Coast, you're still like, you're getting your day started still, whatever. Right? For me, I could eat lunch or dinner right now. I'm like
Yeah.
right in the middle. It's a nice
we
balance.
got the most options.
Yeah, we got the most
Goddamn
options, most
centrist.
leeway.
It's early enough to eat a late lunch, or it's early enough to eat an early dinner. It's that simple.
You really can't talk, Sin. Your day is you go from like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then you go to
Excuse
bed
me,
at that time.
I feel incredibly attacked right now. I wasn't attacking anyone. I'm just stating facts here.
I used to be on that schedule. Now I go to bed at 4:30 a.m. like a normal person.
There you go. That's how you
much
fix
better.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Besides, Bear, if I wasn't up at such weird hours, who would answer you in Discord?
That's
for
a very fair
odd
point,
time?
actually. You're the
Look
only
at
person I have to talk to when I wake up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And you're
so
going back to
really,
bed.
all I'm saying is screw Mountain Time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Hey, I
Mountain
used
Time.
to be there too, and that did suck, I admit. So I'm not going to try to
No-
represent
no one
It doesn't even
understands
make
what time
sense.
it is.
You got
It's
East
like-
Coast, you got West Coast. What the? Everywhere has mountains. What do you
Yeah.
mean mountain time? What the fuck are you trying?
What else are they going to call it, dude? What the fuck are they
I
going
don't
to
know. Middle time, side,
Middle and
close
Central,
to the
that's
That's
what
what
west.
Central
right.
Time is for.
Yeah.
It's a weird place.
Sorry,
like, it's-
please.
Like in
go ahead.
Arizona, of the Navajo Nation only in Arizona, then Colorado, Idaho, most of the state except Western County. Like even all their state people don't use Mountain
Some of
Time.
the people in there, they're like, nah, we're good. We'll just be on the West
Yeah.
Coast.
Like It's like, well, this show starts at 5 p.m. Central Time. What time is that for Mountain Time? That's 2:57 in the afternoon tomorrow.
You have to hold the 3, and then you can.
Yeah.
So
You gotta put it in the formula.
plus, the game starts at noon for me. That's a solid start time. All right, 1 p.m. Then you're getting a little late, and then on the West Coast, that's like a 10 a.m. game. Who's up
It's
for that?
literally middle of the day. It's the best time to start a football game. Noon.
And then you
Right
get
there.
3 o'clock games. You're getting a little late. Then you get like the 7 o'clock start for the late game. It's a perfect time for a late game.
I can't believe I'm having to fight y'all so hard on something that's for the benefit of the listener, like for the people that need to know the information, and I'm just trying to save them.
I don't even remember how we started this actually.
Because
Like,
I
we were
said it
trying to
starts
get
at the Texans.
And it starts at
play
fucking
noon.
10. It starts at 10 a.m.
Who's
or
gonna
1
wanna wake
p.m.
up for a
That's
10
it.
a.m. game with the Texans, the Buccaneers?
Nobody's up at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. Come on.
I mean,
All I'm saying is,
All
then
right.
the late games at 7:15. That's 8:15 for Rob. He's already in bed.
Yeah.
That's true.
that's
Yeah.
basically true. Yeah,
So anyway,
So the
Texans Buccaneers. Yeah.
so the Bucks will
Texans,
lose.
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
You know what?
It could be actually.
I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because listen, the Texans are on the flip flop. All right, they're on the flop
Yeah.
right now. The Buccaneers, Jameis, who knows what he's gonna do? All right, I think the Bucks are gonna throw up
All
like
these
500 yards this game.
All these correlations you try to make, like you just string them together. Like, well, he did put on his left shoe this time, first time last week. So I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can't. It doesn't work like that.
All right,
You gotta look at the team. You gotta look who's playing who.
you just
The
say
Texans
you're going with
have
the
a much
Buccaneers.
better- No, the Texans have a much better passing attack and a much better secondary than the Buccaneers do. Don't get fooled by Jameis and his 458 yards against Pee Wee hockey. It's not going to happen.
Texans lost to the Broncos.
The Buccaneers are terrible.
The Buccaneers are winning games.
The Texans have to win this game. They have to win this game. The Buccaneers are
Yeah.
out. The Texans will win this game.
I mean,
I'm
they had
gonna
to win
go-
against the Broncos.
I'm gonna go Texans, but like it really could go either way. However, I can see this being a shootout, and in the event of a shootout, Jameis is gonna throw a shitload of picks, and Deshaun Watson won't.
Yeah.
And then it becomes the difference between like DeAndre Hopkins and Chris Godwin, and I think the difference is negligible enough that the turnover differential is gonna give the Texans the win.
I've got.
Um,
I've
oh,
got
wait.
a really funny.
Chris Godwin got hurt. That's
Oh.
right.
Oh.
He
Oh,
hurt his
that's like one of their
hamstring.
big receivers, isn't it?
Likely done
That's-
2019. He's their
that's-
like best receiver right now.
It's the PB to the J of Mike Evans.
And Mike Evans is out too,
Mm.
right?
Oh yeah, and who doesn't get the ball passed to him anymore? But
All
Jameis
right, never
Winston.
mind. I'm taking the Texans. All
I
right.
need to maintain my lead over Crendor, so please go ahead with your funny statistic.
No,
there.
I'm going back. To
Oh,
the Texans.
I lost it, so please continue.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Everybody else Texans?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow. Bills Patriots in the afternoon.
Probably the best game of a long time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best
Jeez,
Bills
yeah.
Patriots matchup in probably
Listen,
years.
forever.
Yeah.
I picked the Bills last time. They almost won it, but Josh Allen got cheap shotted this time. He's not going to, and they're going to win. Buffalo Bills.
Dude, they're playing in Foxborough.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I don't know. It's like
I think it does matter. Quite
Yeah,
a bit.
It's a tremendous difference, actually.
Well,
yeah.
it is.
Well,
but
that's
the
thing.
Buffalo
They did
Bills,
lose. They lost in Foxborough for the first time in like a decade this year.
To the Chiefs, though.
dude.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that like I don't know if that means that that's more open now, or if it now means that Foxborough is an impenetrable fortress of Tom Brady's, deep-seated range.
He'll never lose again. Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
He refuses to give up the home turf.
I'm gonna take the Patriots here, but am I? Am I? I'm gonna do it. I'm taking the Patriots.
Who's the better team between the two? Take away like all the biases,
I
home
honestly
field
don't know.
advantage. I think
Like-
it's the Patriots still.
Yeah, like if we're gonna include guys like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in that calculation, then it's the Patriots. But like if we're just talking like from a talent level, the Bills.
Holy hell, guys! Late breaking tweet that you all must see.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm putting it in the Foosball chat. I'm just gonna let you guys read it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
That's incredible.
I also saw, Tom Brady just saying congrats to Drew Brees. I also saw Tom Brady tweet at Joe Mixon that he's going to give him a jersey. He's like, I love you, Tom Brady.
What's so incredible about this to you?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I love the fact that he put the winking emoji face after say, but it's worth trying to beat Peyton Manning, and also didn't capitalize the word Drew.
Yeah.
To me, it came off as super duper trollish. I guess I'm reading it in a different context.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's pretty genuine, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty genuine.
Now, let me
Okay.
tell you the difference of this game, all right? Last time they played, they had Josh Gordon 46 yards. This time, those 46 yards, dial it back. Game over. They don't got that anymore. This is a Buffalo Bill victory.
I will be going Pats.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Patriots.
Nope.
He's going Bills.
Going Bills.
He's gonna
Okay.
lock it.
I'm not going to lock it. It's too close of a game to lock.
Rob, who you picking?
The
Yeah,
Patriots.
he went Pats too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only Bills supporter. Then the Rams 49ers at night.
49ers.
Niners.
Yep. Give me the Niners.
I will not be taking the Rams.
Yeah.
You just got done saying how you're never picking them again.
Yes, that is correct, and I'm not. I'm going 49ers.
So good.
Then we've got the Steelers-Jets.
Steelers.
Yeah, that's the Steelers.
The Steelers need to win every game from this point forward. They're basically in their own playoffs already, so they got to win, and it's going to be them.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hope the Jets continue to lose so we get better draft position.
Yep. I feel that. Last year, me feels that. Saints-Titans.
Give me the Titans in the most ridiculous
Titans.
thriller upset.
Wow.
Yes, hop on the wagon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, this is going to be a fucking ridiculous game if they manage to do it. Drew Brees is going to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns minimum, but they may be able to hang around in a shootout. They have Derrick Henry. They have Tannehill playing well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
They
just
got the
control the
playoffs
clock.
on the line, man.
Control
I
the
mean,
clock.
Did you guys not see what the Saints just did to the Colts?
I know that they're gonna put up 30 plus on them. Like, that's the thing. It's gonna be like the only way the
I
Titans
don't
win is
know.
by putting up a ridiculous amount of points.
I don't
Yeah.
think they will.
You don't think so? Come
Titans do have a very
Titans
good
have a pretty solid defense. I think they're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry. They're going to control the clock. They're going to play conservative, and they're going to keep Drew Brees off the field. And I think it's going to be a score of like maybe like 24 to like 17.
Like, we've seen teams beat the Saints and beat them pretty handily. Like, it's possible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm very easily and comfortably taking the Saints in this one.
All right. Then we have the Panthers Colts in a meaningless game.
Colts.
Colts, I guess.
I'll take the Panthers.
The
McCaffreys.
I was gonna say Panthers too.
Yeah, I trust McCaffrey. I think he'll get it done. Game
Yeah. Thank you, Crendor the
game
elephant.
of the year. Bengals at Miami.
Oh
Da,
boy.
da, da, da.
Dude, Bengals. Fuck it.
I'm going
I gotta throw
Dolphins,
some Hail
dude.
Marys for my own record.
Dolphins.
Go Dolphins.
It's
I
magic.
guarantee it. I've already guaranteed it. The Bengals will have only one win this season, and it will be on the New York Jets.
Fair assumption.
That is
Guaranteed.
true, Bear. You're going up against the Jets.
Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins based on that
Okay.
entirely.
Good choice. Then we've got Ravens at Browns. Can they do it?
Browns!
Rematch,
Go Browns! They gotta do it, man.
Oh.
rematch of the year, coach.
I'll be going Baltimore Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Let the meme magic take hold and allow the #1 seed to rest in the hands of the New England Patriots. Please, by some miracle, the Browns win this and sweep the series against the Ravens in the most ridiculous fashion of 2019.
just to help out Bear and to make the Browns win, I'm gonna lock the Ravens. Lock in the Ravens.
Nice, dude. You may be helping me here. I mean, you're.
Oh, I know it because I'm the worst lock picker.
Lock
in
the
the entire
Raven,
You got some
nevermore.
cursed locks, man.
Yeah.
There was
Well done,
like
Brendan. first of all.
Thank you.
Every lock of mine that is lost, by the way, in my defense, has been a ridiculously terrible upset. And not in my field.
You sound
I
like
want everyone
people
to
with
look
the
at my
losing
lock.
team with the refs who's like, every loss is the referees just doing
Yeah.
this thing. It's not my team being bad.
There
Yeah.
was a fun stat on the chart from last week actually, which was there are 60 instances of one person picking against the other three. The individual and the group have split the games 30 to 30.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
So half the time the person picking the upset is right, and half the time they're just
So all this
absolutely
shit
incorrect.
talk we've done across like a year and a half has
Yeah.
really just come to a negated moot point in
It's
the middle.
literally just a coin flip. It is no more literal than a coin flip. All of these.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm actually just gonna take a coin and do my own. I'll do my picks and then I'll do the coins picks.
Bears coins pick.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Make a shirt out of that. So just so everyone's aware, again, thank you to Hippo Nora and Pixel Haven, I believe, is the one helping us with all this bonus stats and everything. To show you how cursed my locks have been. So Victor has lost when locking. Listen to these teams: the Packers, the Patriots, the Seahawks, and the Niners. Like, how does that happen?
That's
How does that happen? I
That's
can't be
pretty rough.
held responsible for those ridiculous. Like, those are all surefire wins. I told you, every single one of my lock picks have been an incredibly bad upset.
Yeah. But I
So-
went 13-4 last week.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's great punching down there. So, but hey, congrats on number 2. I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you. That's good.
Neat. So then we have the Jaguars Falcons.
Falcons, even though
Yeah.
it doesn't matter for them anymore, but they're definitely going to win this game.
Yep. Falcons.
Yeah, I'll have to go with the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm gonna go with the Jaguars.
No, you're not.
This is the time that the coin will be heads.
The Minshew.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'll say.
All
No,
right,
like,
okay.
'cause the thing is, like, I don't think that the Falcons are consistent enough that they're a for sure win against anyone, and that means that there's enough meme magic potential that it could happen.
He's just out to ruin seasons, I guess, Minshew.
Yeah.
You guys are running out of time, by the way. I'm just looking
Yes.
at it.
that's
Fuck.
correct.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, we can work on this, yeah.
Giants Redskins.
Giants.
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 I'll be flipping the coin. Heads is Giants. Giants. Lions Broncos.
Broncos.
Hang on. I'm flipping the icebreakers 10.
All right.
All right. It said Broncos.
All right, I'll be
Broncos.
going Broncos as well.
Yeah, Broncos.
All right. Raiders Chargers.
Raiders.
I'll be
Hang on.
flipping the coin.
Says Raiders.
It says
Yeah,
Raiders. All right, I'll go
I
Raiders.
also got Raiders.
Okay.
Cardinals Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no coin
Seahawks.
flipping on this one.
Yeah,
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Although it could be.
It's in
It could be a
Seattle
Cardinals.
though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It is a coin flip.
Oh,
That
here we go. The coin flip. Cowboys Eagles.
That one I
man.
actually need to get a coin. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. Cowboys are heads. Eagles.
All right. Cowboys are heads. Eagles are tails.
All right.
Eagles.
Cowboys are tails. Oh shit, Cowboys.
Oh.
Oh.
there we go.
I'm gonna actually choose. It's
Okay.
gonna be a tie.
All right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's a fair tie.
Yep.
They're a.
But did the coin land on its side and just stay there?
The NFC East really is just a tie when you think about it.
Yeah, just let them all play in the playoffs. Fuck it.
Everybody wins.
Chiefs Bears.
I'm gonna lock the Chiefs.
Oh,
Yeah.
lock the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
taking the Chiefs.
I'll take the Chiefs as well.
I will also be taking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and the Monday night Booger McFarland special, the Packers Vikings.
Coach.
Yeah.
Hate to do it, but I
Yep.
think the Vikings are playing better than the Packers.
I also think that is the case, so I'm also picking the Vikings.
And I no
Well-
longer have to root for Aaron Rodgers, so go
Yep.
Vikings.
I'm afraid of this game, but Dalvin Cook's injured, so I have hope. So, I'll take the Packers as I normally do.
I'll take the Vikings.
All right. Let's see. I need a lock.
You do need a lot.
This is a tough lock.
I'm going to lock in the Browns.
I'll be.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
You're going lock against
Lock in the
lock.
the
Bear?
Mad
Browns.
Lad. I'll be locking in the Pittsburgh Steelers over the New York Jets.
Fair, yeah.
You're locking lock versus lock bear?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
The Mad
I mean,
Lad.
I tried to help you, but
No, this is, dude. Here's what's gonna happen. Here is you're gonna go down 3 points off one game, and I'm gonna go up 3. So
Ooh,
that's true.
you know.
He's that good.
crazy
Oh wait, no,
stuff.
it's just 2. Never mind. I don't know why I thought I could add them together. No, it's just
Nope.
it's a
Math.
4-point flip total though.
You know what, Bear? I'll give you 3 points if the Browns
If the
win.
Browns, no, yeah, right. It's a double point lock.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but I won't receive 3 losses though.
Okay.
I accept your guys' agreement as long as it doesn't take me out of second place.
Okay. No,
Okay.
here's the thing though. I get the win from Rob. So if
Yeah.
Browns win, I take one of
Yeah.
Rob's wins. and it's
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's very close right now. I'm 140, 97 and 2. Sinvicta's 143, 95 and 1. Rob's 141, 97 and 1. Bears 128, 110 and 1.
Sorry, what? No,
You're the only one with over 100 losses, is what we're saying.
no.
Had to say it.
We're actually doing worse than last year, they also said. I had a 60% win last year. Sinvicta was 61 and Rob was 61, but I guess Sinvicta was 0.615, Rob was 0.617. And Bear
So
was
we're doing-
nearly 70%, but only
I was
picked half the games.
0.69. Thank you very
You only
much.
picked
is
half
what,
the
is
games.
what I was.
Yeah, but you only picked half the games.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean that we're doing better though? Because we're all above. Well, me and Sinvicta at least are above 700.
Well,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I was looking. No, that's the week where the
Oh,
season.
you're right.
Yeah, that's you're
Yeah.
at 59. I'm at 60, Rob.
You right.
Yeah.
You right.
So I'm doing about the same, but you guys are doing worse. So that's fine with me.
Hey, as long as it ends the way that it is right now, I'm fine with that.
Hey, but it also
nope.
means, by the way, that if any of us wanted to make money gambling on football, we actually would be able to make a profit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good profit.
Yeah.
Look at that. Our
So go
deep
sign up.
knowledge of the football game
Yeah.
and team.
And our coin flipping and icebreakers tin flipping strategies.
Dude,
You can get
oh
these
my God.
all for $5 a month right now.
If any of the Hippo Nor, all you guys keeping track of stats, check out our records versus like the actual talking heads like Terry Bradshaw and Fox and all them, or like the CBS
All right, that's like
people.
40 hours of work. I don't think he's gonna.
No, they like don't they update it every week? I feel like they show it on TV. Like, here's what we are for the week, and they like actually
might,
post their
yeah.
things. So see if they have like any of that. If not,
none of us
whatever.
actually watch football, so
All
yeah,
I know is
sure,
I
you
tuned in that one time, and then Tony Gonzalez was like, "I don't know who I'm picking," and I was like, "Well, never watching this again." So I feel like we're doing better than him. But either way.
But
Thanks.
seriously, we gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go. Thanks for watching, listening. Subscribe, follow. Buzzwords that include actions of following us. And thanks. And I don't know what to say. Show your friends, show your family, show your wife, show your dog, show your cat, show your guy at the post office. And we'll see you next week.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun,
Goodbye.
dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
There we go.